Hey, this is Jessica Hammer, host of Crowned and Dangerous. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Rachel Mullins, host of #NoFilterFriday here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my new show, #NoFilterFriday, where we talk about all of the sexual misconduct allegations swirling around Hollywood. A new show drops every Friday at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of #NoFilterFriday. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
7 days without baseball makes 1 week. Welcome to Completely Serious. That very astute point and catchphrase was sent to us by listener Silly Millie Vanilli. Thank you, Silly Millie Vanilli, for sending that. And big thanks to you for tuning in to Completely Serious. I'm your host, Ryan Piers. And we have, I must say, we have many new fans, it seems like, over the past couple of weeks. And maybe not fans, at least listeners, or at least people clicking the download button, the sideways triangle. So we appreciate it. And I wanted, with some new listeners, to bring on a show favorite, a show regular. We have him on every couple of months, and it's always wonderful. Sports Guy DC Ackerman. DC, thanks for jumping on the podcast. We appreciate it.
Anytime. It's the time of year where sports gets fun, and I like to get completely unserious.
Well, that's how the show works. We call it Completely Serious. DC gets it, though. It is completely unserious, really should be the name. And we do have a tagline. It is the show where we have fun and talk sports. And I wanted to bring DC on to remind people about the perfect man cave. You have the perfect man cave. And with football season underway, baseball still going, what is in the perfect man cave?
So I think the key ingredient to the perfect man cave, there's two, really. Okay. If you have a big TV and an equally sizable refrigerator, you're on your way to greatness. I think those two things together, that's the start of the man cave brew, and then you can kind of build it from there.
What is the proportion of TV to refrigerator? Are we talking like identical in size, or is there some differences, but they both have to be big?
Ooh, that'd be interesting. A
TV and a fridge, the same exact size.
Yeah, a 46 cubic foot TV and an 116-inch refrigerator. No, yeah, I don't know, maybe it's like a 3-to-1 ratio or something. Let's go with that, 3-to-1, whatever measurement you're using.
So TV 3 times bigger than the fridge.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, perfect. Got it. I like that. And again, I know DC has talked about the perfect man cave on the show in the past, but with new listeners, we wanted to talk about that to start off. So you got your fridge and you've got your TV. Both are huge, not equal in size, but both considered to be big for their size. What else do you need in this perfect man cave?
Got to have a comfy place to sit. Got several the power recliners down there, little motorized headrests in those things, keeping you nice and comfy. So we're not like the airlines. We don't cram pack you in. But the comfy seating arrangement is a go-to. Also, if the sports just aren't your thing, let's face it, some people come for the sports. Some people's significant others come maybe not so much for the sports, maybe on the food and drink. Having a little food, little drink, little something else, maybe pool table, ping pong table, something like that. We've got all that going on.
Little food, little drinky, little ping pong, little pool. That sounds like a good man cave. Now, what are some mistakes that people make? We've all gone to somebody else's man cave. We've gone down to the basement. Maybe it smells bad. Maybe they haven't cleaned it. Or maybe there's something about just what is on the walls. Like maybe pictures that don't fit in. The TV's not nice enough. Or maybe it's something even more significant. What are some mistakes you think that people make?
I think the biggest mistake is creating an environment that's not centered on sports. So if the man cave, if the sports cave, we won't be gender exclusive. If the sports cave is also combo playroom, workout center, office, bedroom, that's not going to work. That's not. It has to be devoted 100%.
And DC, you brought up a good point. We don't want to be gender exclusive here. We want to include all genders. So maybe a person cave. Or a sports cave is the better term for that.
Yeah, so I just think that focusing on keeping it 100% sports, that's all you need to do. Just create that environment where people know when they come over, they're going to have fun, going to see the game.
There have been a lot of questions about illegal and legal hits in the NFL, specifically of the quarterback.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes, in Clay Matthews, the first 3 weeks, We saw less flags thrown in Week 4, but weeks 1 through 3, Clay Matthews was hit with some questionable penalties. He wasn't the only one, but he was the one kind of highlighted. As a Packers fan, I want to ask you if you think these could potentially be alternatives. Well, first of all, I want to ask, what are your thoughts on the hits? Are they calling it too tight? Is it better? What do you think?
It's in the right spirit of player safety, and I think that the officials are calling it, I mean, as you see it live, I mean, live is so much faster because now we get to break everything down into, 10 million frames per second, and we get to go, micrometer by micrometer on these hits on a replay. But I think as they're calling it, I think they're calling it by the letter of the law, but the letter of the law isn't specific enough. It doesn't allow for the ref to make a judgment like, yeah, that was just a regular tackle. But basically now if they see anyone landing on a quarterback, there goes the flag, or anything resembling, anything close to anyone landing on top of a quarterback, there goes the flag. So I'm sure this is something that's going to be addressed in the offseason by Rules Committee, but until then, we've got some interesting laundry on the field.
Yeah, I got some interesting possible changes to the rule I wanted to run by you and see maybe if you have some yourself. Okay, so if they're not going to tackle the quarterback, let's say they move passes and say, you know what, we're not going to finagle with this rule. We're not going to have these players guess and try to catch themselves in the air after they hit the quarterback so they don't land on him. We're just going to make it so they don't have to tackle the quarterback. They can bring him down in another way. I've got 5 potential options here of non-tackle football involving the quarterback. The first one has been thrown out, actually, I believe it was Richard Sherman from the San Francisco 49ers who said it's a potential idea. Flag football for the quarterback. Instead of tackling him, just put a bunch of flags on him, and if you pull the flag, the quarterback is down. What do you think about potentially going to flag football for the quarterback only?
That's going to create a whole lot of sacks. I mean, guys get
okay.
sacks, S-A-C-K-S. Sacking is going to go up exponentially because some of these D linemen, I mean, just the reach that they have. I mean, they're going to be able, if you get anywhere within 3 feet of the quarterback, boom, there go the flags.
How many flags would be on there? And I'm trying to picture the quarterback. I guess my first thought was there'd be maybe 4, like around the hip. But what about his shoulder? Maybe put like a necklace with a flag, maybe some ankle bracelets with a flag if they have to tackle him from down low.
Maybe a flag bandolier.
Exactly. I just picture like a flag headdress coming off the quarterback. And
perhaps like a Miss America type sash.
Yes. Oh, that'd be perfect. I'm picturing these outfits, and they could be quite trendy, I think, actually.
A hula skirt of flags.
Yes, I think all of those would work out great. How about this one? An implosion button. So the quarterback has a big button on him. Say it's on his back or his chest. You run up and you push the button, and I don't know if he would explode, or I think he would just like fall down somehow, or he just is counted as tackle. How about a big button on the quarterback?
That sounds violent. So maybe when you press the button, like a big airbag deploys around him, and then he just, kind of gently tumbles.
That's perfect.
So that way just some large inflatable happens, but the implosion button, that seems a little more violent maybe than what the league was wanting to go for. But I like the idea of hiding some kind of secret button or maybe some kind of lock and key. Maybe the first guy to untie his shoes gets a sack. Something like that.
I like the shoe tying one. I'll ask you for a few of yours in a bit, too. How about a taser? Say you give every D lineman a taser, and he comes around and he just tases the quarterback and he falls over.
See, then I think we run the risk of, at the high school level, we're going to get these kids signing up to just be bionic D linemen. They're going to have some kind of Jason Pierre-Paul situation where they just get a hand replaced by a taser. Just that way you can maneuver and everything without having to actually carry any kind of device. You just have it sewn right into your arm, and then you've got one hand and one taser hand.
Yeah, I can see that happening. A lot of parents will tell their kids only throw the ball left-handed to get them to be left-handed pitchers. Well, I could see parents taking it to a next level and just having their child's left hand or right hand surgically removed and putting a taser on it so they're naturally good at football.
It'll be like the new Tommy John surgery. Everyone's just going to have it. It's become commonplace. You go, you're getting the taser this week. Good for you.
How about this one? A butt pat. You just walk up and you pat the quarterback's butt.
Just a little slap, a little good game type of hit?
Absolutely. Something friendly. And I guess if you pat it too hard, they could give you a flag for that. So that could be work into the rule there.
Yeah, I don't want to see excessive spanking as a flaggable offense. So I don't know if I'm as in on that one. But, anything's is good. Maybe a Heimlich, maybe a gentle Heimlich maneuver.
I like to imagine Clay Matthews coming around and giving like Mitchell Trubisky a Heimlich, and then he actually chokes out like his mouthpiece or something. That would be quite the twist.
Just a big hug or a shoulder rub, maybe.
Shoulder rub could work out too. And I also want to see Ed Hockley come out and throw a flag and go, excessive butt slapping, number 58, defense, 15-yard penalty, first down. I think that would be a great addition.
Sure, yeah, because then there'd be all kinds of rules on, okay, did you use an open hand or a closed fist for the butt slap? How did you wind up before? Or too many variables.
My last suggestion would be just tickling the quarterback. Don't even worry about tackling him. Just tickle him. And I guess the next level of that would be if he laughs, he's down. If he doesn't laugh, he stays up. Or maybe that's just too much.
Sure. I think you've got guys, though, like Big Ben and Cam Newton. There's guys that wear these really thick like rib cage protectors and stuff. There's no way you're gonna get your ticklers in there to get them to crack a smile.
How about you? Is there one or two that you think they could add for the quarterback instead of tackling him?
So other than the guy to do the old Looney Tunes, untie and retie his shoes together gag, first, I think maybe we give all the D linemen foam fingers, like the big number one foam fingers. And just that way, the first guy to get his foam finger poke in on the quarterback, boom, that's a sack. Maybe we make it give them all giant pillowcases or like a big potato sack, and the first one to actually the first one to put the sack over the quarterback, that's a recorded sack.
Genius. That is really smart. I like the wordplay as well. And I like picturing like a Khalil Mack running around the field with a big just potato sack trying to jump on top of the quarterback. That could work. I think there's a lot of potential there.
I think the old bag the quarterback like we're hunting a snipe or something. I think that'll catch on.
Hypothetical, would you rather have to get caught streaking on a football field or have to catch someone who is streaking on a football field?
More power to the guys who have the courage and the self-confidence to just bear it all, just get in the buff, hop in the old birthday suit and get out there on national television or in front of a big crowd, 40,000 people, see your cash and prizes. I don't think I want to be the streaker. I think I'd rather catch the streaker because I think I'll have some backup. I think I'll have some help.
See, this is where I guess my opinion might differ. I think I'd rather be the streaker just because I don't want to have to tackle somebody who's naked or could have some maybe oil on them to make them more slippery. I'm not sure. But I don't know. I would have a hard time actually wrapping up a naked person.
I thought about that, and I think that the way to avoid that is just to give – I don't know if there's like a streaker watcher. Just, security has certain people like, okay, you're on streaker duty, John, But I think maybe if we give them like a net gun, like they give to people at the zoo.
Well, that's genius.
We just shoot a net at them. Or maybe we make it like a contest and just all the cheerleaders or whatever fire the T-shirt cannons at him. Just make him succumb with, some non-lethal ammunition.
I'm picturing a bunch of guys like waving around like I'm not sure what they're actually called, where you like wave around it's like a lace type thing with maybe a hard ball at the end. You throw it and they wrap around their ankles and they drop to the ground. I don't know if you recognize what I'm talking about, but
oh yeah, yes. We'll make it like a game.
Yes, exactly. It hits their ankles and it wraps them up and brings them to the ground. There's a couple ideas there.
I think we could put like a shot clock on it too. Like maybe as soon as a streaker's identified on the field, we'll put 90 seconds up on the board. And we'll see if one of the mascots can tackle him before the cops get involved. So the mascot has 90 seconds to run him down and tackle him. And then if he can't get him in 90 seconds, then the authorities get involved.
Well, speaking of the shot clock, the NBA is right around the corner, and everyone is talking about what 5 current players LeBron James might play. They might have a Space Jam too. And people are asking what NBA players would be on this new team of Monstars. If you were to make and I was trying to think of how to ask this question. If you were to make a celebrity Monstar team, who would be on it? I got my list, and then I'll ask and see what you're thinking. Here's mine. My thought is Kevin Hart at point guard, because he's short and he's like 5'2", just like Muggsy Bogues was. Vince Vaughn at center, because there's not many tall celebrities, and Vince Vaughn kind of looks like the big doofy center in the first Space Jam. The Rock.
He's got a Dirk Nowitzki vibe about him, yeah.
Yeah. The Rock as that blue muscular guy. Carrot Top, because, he got huge, as the orange muscular guy, and he's orange. And I can't remember the other one that was in the Monstars lineup, but I'll just throw in Cardi B because why not? I feel like she could be a good Monstar. She's tough. I mean, she just she ordered a hit job on 2 bartenders the other night, from what I heard. So I can see her being a Monstar.
She's scrappy. I'd be really interested to hear her trash talk, her on the court trash talk. I don't know that she'd contribute much to the offense, but the trash talk would be worth the price of admission.
Sure.
So you went all. So this is all celebrities. So this is all pop culture folks, not necessarily athletes.
I think
who are we picking off the street?
We can go both ways. Either way, I'm good with.
All right, I think I like it better with non-basketball players.
Okay, all right.
That makes it better. So I think my point guard, I think like you, I'm going someone small, someone agile. I'm torn between Lil Wayne and Danny DeVito, and those two have they couldn't be further apart. Those two individuals, two human beings that couldn't be, more unrelated, but. It's a toss-up between that. Maybe I'll switch off series. Maybe I'll switch off games.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
For center, I like Hafthor Bjornsson. I don't know if you know. GOT fans are going to recognize it. He's the guy who plays the Mountain in Game of Thrones.
Oh, sure. Okay. Good pick.
He takes up the whole lane by himself. So I think him. For my guards, I think Kanye West. I think that'd be good. Again, entertainment value. And then I need just a couple of guys you don't really expect, maybe like a Dax Shepard or a Bradley Cooper, something like that. And then I think for a 6-man, I just want a constant rotating cast of all of the doofus teenage fathers off of Teen Mom. I think we could recruit them. They're all unemployed, so I think we could recruit them to come and be on our Monstar team as just the off the bench guys.
I like that, and I like to picture them just coming in, waddling in, and not really knowing the game. They really do fit the Monstar MO. I think that's a really good pick.
Sure, just angry for no reason, and they're there to cause a scene.
I have never once talked about golf on this show, so I figured I'd bring it up.
Not once?
Never once talked about golf. This is the first for Completely Serious. Tiger Woods, where does he rank in terms of the list of guys you both hate and like at the same time and can't really tell what to think about him? Where's he on that list, and is there anybody else that's next to him maybe on that list where you just want to hate Tiger at sometimes just because of his past, but now that he's coming back, I feel like I'm kind of pulled to root for him. I'm kind of confused by these emotions. I don't know if he's a good guy, but I kind of want to see him do well. Where does he rank for you in those regards?
So that's the thing. A lot of athletes, we don't really know their, off the court or off the field stuff, right? We just get to see you love the Tiger that's out there winning tournaments, and he's got the red shirt on the, on Sundays and stuff like that. The fist pump, and that's the Tiger that everybody loves. Sure. And then, of course, all the scandal came out, and then of course his game suffered, and you had all kinds of injuries and stuff like that. So I guess the hate part is that. Man, I don't know where he ran. I guess not. I don't think he's number one.
Okay.
For me, I think maybe like a Floyd Mayweather.
Sure.
Might be up there. So he might be next to him for that, because Mayweather, you respect, obviously he's a super good fighter, but in outside of the ring, not a super nice dude.
The entertainment value is there for Floyd, but then, yeah, you hear him talk outside the ring, and he is just not a good guy. So I see what you're saying. He is kind of yes, I want to watch him because he's a great athlete, but he is a bad guy poster boy. Like, we really know this guy is not a very good human being.
Right. Are the steroids era baseball players there? So like the Sammy Sosa, Barry Bonds, and stuff. Are they in there?
That's a fair point. I think yes.
And then Lance Armstrong. There's a lot more to not like about Lance these days than there is to like. But I think at the height of his career, maybe around like doping allegations and stuff like that, everybody still had but what about the yellow bracelets and the cancer battling and all the support and fundraising for that? Sure. I think Lance may be at the top.
I think he is
for those kind of love-hate relationships with players. But Tiger's definitely in the list. I mean, he's probably top 5 or bottom 5, however you want to phrase it. But I don't know that I think more people now want to see him succeed than fail.
DC, every time you come on the show, sometimes you often bring a hypothetical question or something you want to bring up. Is there anything you want to get off your chest or talk about in this particular episode?
No, let's call it a day. No, just kidding. Could you imagine if it was like that? Yeah, so here's what I wanted to ask you. Put together if you could have a sport just be year-round or on TV just constantly, what are you tuning into? If something, say the season was just endless, just you could watch guys play every single night from here until, whenever you were done, what sport would that be?
Yeah, that's a great question. My favorite sport is basketball, and it almost is year-round now with Summer League.
Right.
So it's almost reached that point. I can watch that at any time. However, and we know I've talked about curling on this podcast before. I do like curling. And I feel like at any point I can turn on curling and say, yes, I want to watch that. I'm going to go something a little more obscure here, though. I'm going to go ping pong. And here's why. I don't think I ever really get bored of ping pong. I can watch it, and then I'll come back and watch it a month later, and I'm still good with it. And there's never a point in the year where I'm like, I don't want to watch ping pong right now. Where maybe if it's 90 degrees in August and it's nice outside, I'd rather go to the pool instead of watching basketball. Or if it's in the dead of winter, I'm not going to want to watch baseball. It doesn't feel right. But ping pong, you can kind of watch it any time in the year. I'm not going to watch it a lot because it's not super entertaining. However, I will tune into it at any point. It can go the entire year, and I will watch it at any time. So I'm going to go with ping pong there simply because I don't think there's a point where it really becomes obsolete when you're considering the weather or outside factors.
Now, would you rather play ping pong, spectate ping pong, or would you rather be the play-by-play announcer for ping pong?
That's such a great question. I'm going to go with it depends on how well I'm playing. Playing ping pong's fun. It's one of the few things I'm decent at in terms of sport-wise. Playing is great, but I would say just watching it is the best. Being a commentator would be a huge challenge, I think, because of how fast the ball moves, how challenging the names can be. I mean, ping pong is not a huge sport here in America, so you'd have to be very skilled at pronouncing names from other countries. That might be more challenging to an English speaker. I think I'm going to go. I like to watch ping pong. I'm going to go with that.
Fast paced too, right? Calling that'd be even more than hockey. I mean, it would just be excruciating. You wouldn't be able to take a breath.
It's an auctioneer. Might be decent at being a play-by-play broadcaster for ping pong, but I don't think the normal ping pong guy could do it. How about a sport for you? What's one for you, DC Ackerman, that you could watch the entire year?
So I got hooked onto this recently because I had no idea this was being televised or this was even a thing. The bags, like the cornhole, whatever you want to call it, the tossing of bean bags from 27 feet away onto a board with a hole cut in it. That sport, I think, is what I could, much in the same vein as ping pong. If it's on, I'm probably going to watch it.
And it's one of those where you can play. I mean, you play bags, and you watch these guys play bags professionally, and you can really critically analyze what they're doing because you do it yourself. They're not like they're in this super other world that you're not. You can go outside and do it just like you can with ping pong, where maybe football or basketball, they're in such a different level.
Absolutely. And the other thing I enjoy is the fact that it's such a non-serious sport. The drama is not there. It has to be fabricated. And the folks announcing it just try so hard to fabricate something that most of us do while holding a beer in one hand.
Do they hold a beer in their hand when they play, the professionals?
No, they don't.
Really?
I'm disappointed in that. But for the live audience, there is alcohol for sale, which I found that enjoyable. And the whole thing is sponsored by Johnsonville Brats, not a sponsor of the show here, even though they should be. But which makes it amazing because that is a food for people who probably just aren't that athletic. And let's face it. But the good news is anyone can play bags. Anyone, from the very young to the very old, the very small to the very large, anyone's in on bags.
What a great note. What a great note to end on. Inspiring. Anyone can play bags. That's exactly what we like to say. And the type of things we like to leave you with here on Completely Serious, something to make you want to get out of bed in play bags. DC Ackerman, thank you for jumping on the podcast. Great job as always, and we look forward to having you on again.
Thank you, my friend. Anytime. I always have a blast.
Thanks, DC. That's Completely Serious on Public House Media. We'll talk with you in 2 weeks.